Coming to you live from the It's Funny Studios. I'm Doug.
I'm Greg.
And this is Mike.
And this is the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Here we are, the end of September. The weather is starting to get beautiful.
Almost to October now.
Almost.
I feel like yesterday I was saying, well, we're in August now. And
Yep.
Man.
Once we get into the fall, it just goes quick. It goes, for us here, there's the Pumpkin Festival, and then it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, boom, and it's over.
Yeah, it goes quick until like January, and then it's a drag.
Yes.
Then it's the longest drag.
January through April is horrible.
Yes.
I mean,
it is.
But
yuck.
It's exactly what Doug was saying. And before that point, it's like an all-out sprint, it kind of seems like, to the end of the year.
Yep. Last weekend, we went to the Pumpkin Festival. We did our Man on the Street where we asked some, 4 or 5 different people, some 80s trivia questions. We are trying to put that episode together, and hopefully, if you guys tune in a week from today, the week of October 3rd, we will have that episode out. And then you can hear, it may be the worst episode you've ever heard, or it could be gold. We don't know.
Yep, and that'll just be the audio. We're hoping to also put
we're
together
still working on the video. We've got the video, but that's
Yeah.
going to take a little more time. But the audio for sure will be out that week.
That's right.
So, all right, let's give her. I think I got a couple quick things right off the bat, and then we're going to talk about some Facebook fun, and then Greg's going to do a little recap of the Pumpkin Festival,
The reading of the minutes.
the reading of the reading
Pumpkin
of
Festival
the
minutes.
and then to finish up. I'm going to talk about tipping and Beyond Meat. We're going to talk about Beyond Meat, sort of, or is it Beyond Meat? Maybe it's real meat. We don't know. And then we're going to talk about a nightclub that
I eat Beyond Vegetables.
yeah. A nightclub that's banning a certain activity. You'll never guess what it is.
Dancing?
Nope, not dancing. We'll have to wait and see. All right.
Let's see what you did there.
Yes. Yes, you did. All right, so right off the bat, Greg and I was at McDonald's last week. And
What?
I know. Yeah. Nobody would ever know. That this
Well, usually Doug does the what.
Yes.
So
I'm sorry, let me try. Greg and I were at McDonald's last week.
What?
There we go.
We walked in to get a drink and a burger real quick at lunch, and we walk in, and there's a line of people. There's a guy at the counter. There's a
guy waiting on the people?
Well, there was, but there was a man at the counter waiting, like giving his order.
Yeah.
There was a person behind him looking at their phone. There were two old women. And then there was us. We walked in. So the guy, after we was there for a few minutes, the guy at the counter, he slid over. So he must have got his order. The person looking at their phone.
Oddly, no one was on the kiosks.
Kind of stood there and kept looking at their phone. I'm like, all right, we can all move forward now. Let's get moving. But they kind of walked up slow, still looking at their phone. And then they kind of unloaded on this poor guy at the cash register.
Yes, they did.
Like, this is ridiculous. You've got this stupid app, and I try to order on the app, and every time I order, I keep getting this error message, and she shows it. See that right there? What does that mean? He's like, I don't know. Somebody else runs the app. She goes, well, this is stupid. I can't even order my food. I'm trying to order my food. It tells me to park and come in and talk to a person. I can't order. I can't get food or nothing. He's like, we don't run the app. I don't know what to tell you. And then finally, like, well, forget it. And she storms out. I wanted to scream at her. I'm like, you're literally in front of a person. Tell him what you want. Say, I would like a hamburger. He will give it to you. You don't have to use your app. People are way too reliant on technology. It's like, I can't even order. I can't even eat. I guess I'm just going to starve. Like
I saw her out in the parking lot while we were in line, out there storming back and forth, looking at her phone, just still angry out in the parking lot. It's like, you were in the line.
You could have just told him, I'd like a hamburger and a Diet Coke or whatever it was you're getting. No. Bridge too far. I can't do that. If it doesn't work on my phone, I'm just out. I don't know what they're going to do once we lose electricity and power and we're back to the Stone Age. These people, they're done. They're just done. I mean, the biggest problem, obviously, is it's going to be hard to listen to our podcast, and that will have people up in arms. But
it will.
We'll have to do live shows every show.
There we go. We'll be like the singing minstrels that used to walk through the streets.
Or the old-time radio.
Yeah, yes, there we go.
So, I guess there's no power. We would have to do the streets. Yeah.
We'd have to take it to the street, Craig. All right, and I got one other thing here.
While you're talking McDonald's, let me just update. So I don't really have anything for the first part, but I want to give an update on my last week's thing where I talked about the pallet and the garbage can in the McDonald's drive-thru. Well, later, after we had recorded the podcast, a few days later, I was at the same drive-thru, and that morning's choice was the slippery when wet sign, the yellow folded sign. That's what they had that blocked off with.
I thought was it like the middle-aged overweight man out there with the slippery wet t-shirt all wet down, rubbing his belly like the old Bon Jovi? Slippery when wet. Oh, I'm definitely going to avoid that drive-through lane.
No,
come on through. That's okay. That's okay. I'm good.
No.
I'll supersize you. I'm good. I am good. I don't need it. I trust you.
It's a weird, twisted version of the Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
No,
please stop.
Yeah, no,
I
literally.
was throwing cash out the window at him. Take it.
You want a Big Mac?
No.
But no, it was the literal slippery when wet, yellow tent sign that they use.
See, now that's confusing because it may not be closed. Maybe it's open and it's just be careful if this is wet.
But it was in
you
the
can
middle.
have a huge wreck.
Yeah.
You're pulling at 1 mile an hour, your car just hits, slam sideways.
And this morning we were back to the pallet.
You got to go with what works.
Yeah, it was the black plastic pallet.
The slippery when wet wasn't getting the job done.
No. And all the orange cones were stolen. So we're back to
for whatever reason.
Yeah, and the trash can, they must be using it for something else. So they were probably blocking the inside lane with that one, like inside the building, put the trash can in front of the clerk. And
I think they moved that in there to stop people, with their apps, yelling at people. So they probably have that under control now. So.
You'll go to bring up your app and there'll be a pallet on the screen.
The loading screen just alternates between all of them.
Yeah, pallet, slippery when wet sign, cone.
I like it. It fades in and out with different fades out, fades in with the cone, fades out, fades in with the slippery when wet. Into the garbage can. Oh, that's nice. I like that animation.
So there's just a little update in case you were wondering what they're using now. That was the slippery when wet. And they rotated the pallet back into production this week.
All right.
Classic.
Yes.
Well, I've got a little quiz for Mike. He has no idea what's going to happen. So I saw a poster.
Study.
You did not study.
Dang it.
I don't know if it had helped you.
Well, this is a pop quiz.
Oh, darn it.
Yes, it is.
I hate pop quizzes.
I saw a poster. I'm going to say it was kind of educational, maybe. And it's instructions for something. And it says to help you to figure out how to do this, they have a little song they wrote. And you're supposed to sing it to Frere Jacques. So I'm going to sing the song, but I'm going to stop right before the very end. I'm going to see if Mike can guess what are we trying to do with this song?
Okay.
Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together. What are we doing, Mike? What in the world is happening? First, where am I at when I'm singing this song?
Okay, well, you're in the bathroom.
And for the record, if I'm outside the bathroom and I hear this being sung, I am leaving. I don't know what's going on. I will poop my pants. I'm out. I will get some Depends. I'll chuck the underwear. I'm commando the rest of the day.
I don't really know if I want to hear somebody singing in the bathroom either.
No, but I really don't want to hear that. Depends, what they're singing. Slippery when wet. That could go with this.
The Bon Jovi version.
That could go with this.
You are washing your hands.
Now they're clean.
Yes.
But still.
Yes.
Let's say if you're a parent and you have a little kid and they come home singing this song and say, Johnny, where did you learn that? I would have some questions. What are you singing?
I picked it up from the It's Funny podcast.
That's right. And now there's huge protests and we're being shut down. So that's very possible.
Yeah, no, that's without. Yeah.
And
if you
where
didn't
was
know,
yeah,
that'd be troubling.
And where was that sign?
I don't want to say. I don't know if anybody. I was keeping it anonymous.
All right, keep it anonymous.
I was keeping. You're supposed to sing it one time slow and the next time fast. So you speed it up on the second time around.
Rub them all together. Rub them all together.
Top to bottom, in between, rub all together, rub all together. Like, what?
Now they're clean.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I really am not going to the bathroom if I hear that. Slow, and then it speeds up on the second one, and I hear a bunch of like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
There was nothing in there about drying your hands either.
There wasn't. They don't care about that.
Or carefully opening the door so you don't get more germs.
They don't care about that either.
Oh, man.
So, all right, that was all I had. You scored 100%.
Woo.
You got an A on that pop quiz.
Yes.
All right. Well, why don't you take us into some Facebook fun?
All right.
Woo-hoo. We love Facebook.
We do
fun.
love Facebook.
We love it.
So I've got some good stuff here. A good variety this week. The very first thing, you get like the suggested pages. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
But stuff you don't like or interact with will pop up and it says suggested for you. Well, for some reason, I'm getting the city of Davenport, Iowa construction maps. Why? I've never been.
Well, you are a mapping guy.
Well, I am.
You are.
But I've never been in Davenport. I mean, I have, but like it's been a long time since I've been to Davenport, Iowa.
Maybe they need you to do some mapping for them.
Maybe they do.
Suggested for me, I don't understand why. It's like from 3 days ago, so I'm assuming the work is still happening, but it's good to know, I guess, in case the next time I ever find myself in
If you ever have an
Davenport,
emergency
Iowa.
where you got to go to Davenport, Iowa, you can bring this up right away. Oh, there's my traffic alert.
Well, yeah, I would say, travel alert. I mean, they're warning you not to come to Davenport.
I think it sounds like it. Well, we can't even get out of our own construction zone, so
Yeah, and they're working on segment 3 of 5, so...
at least it's going to be another 5 years.
Of the phase 2.
Yes. So anyway, for some reason, I'm getting completely random cities maps, so that's fun. The next story I got...
Hold on, I haven't looked yet.
So... I'll read
Is this about the garbage? I want to make sure I'm on the right photo.
I'm going the
Yes!
I'm just going straight through. So I'm going to read the guy's. I'll read his caption first. It says, "Man, I'm getting really tired of picking up people's garbage out of my yard. If this mower is yours, come get it out of my yard."
The picture is just a road with like a ditch, and there's just a mower sitting there. When I first heard, I thought he'd been mowing, and he stopped and took the picture. Like, no.
Well, yeah, because the grass looks freshly mowed.
It does.
So you know what this made me think of? Do you guys remember the one story of the criminal who broke into the house and just mowed the yard? I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's out. I think he's mowing
He went
yard.
and mowed yard again.
The phantom mower.
Yeah. So
And how is that garbage? I mean, isn't that a little big to be garbage? I think a garbage is a little smaller, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all this guy gets left on his yard. But if it's just mowers, I'm
Starts
very
with mowers.
interested.
Pretty soon there's a Pinto. I'm sick of this. He comes out an RV. Gow!
Yeah, I like his frustration.
Push that out to the stupid curb. Have the garbage man come.
We got to wait for the bulk pickup again. Yeah, so that one is pretty good. Pretty random,
That's
but pretty good. Oh, man. Okay, so the next one. We've got... first off, we got to keep pointing these out. The post with the backgrounds that don't make any sense. This one is in orange.
It does not make any sense.
And it does not go with anything here. So
It's not even a pumpkin. It's an orange.
No, it's an orange. It says...
What's from Washington?
True.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a pumpkin in Washington, probably.
Would
Maybe.
Would
It's
it be an
fall.
orange in Washington?
Oh, we're a big orange state.
Yeah.
The palm trees.
Oh, wait. You've never been to the citrus groves of Washington? In the middle of Illinois? It's beautiful.
They call us, Northern Florida up here. So the post says, "To the rude kid with a foul mouth, driving a silver car with plate starting with DL, by the car wash. Yes, I honked to tell you that your brake lights are not working." So apparently somebody was honking at a kid, and they went off on the person, but the message didn't get across there. So it says, hopefully your mother will see this post. It's like, oh, come on. I'm going to call your mother. That's what the Facebook equivalent
Young man.
is. Yeah. You've got a mouth worse than a sailor's.
Oh, mouth worse than a drunk
sailor.
Now, in all fairness, it's probably hard to understand the drunk sailor. So You don't really understand what he's saying. He could be real filthy. He could be filthier than this kid. You just wouldn't understand it. Right in front of motherfucker. Like, what did he say? I have no idea. I don't know.
And she said, I honked to tell you your brake lights are not working. So did she honk and yell, or did she just honk?
I think she's honked. I don't know.
So was the kid supposed to interpret that as my brake lights aren't working?
Well, apparently. I think that was...
Honk. Oh, my brake lights must be out.
Yeah, that's the only message you can get from honking. So...
Not about that you're going to get plowed into or anything.
No. So the next one I got here, I thought at first this was going to be another piece of garbage.
I did
but it's
too.
not.
I did too.
Oh, well, this guy's really
Maybe it will end up eventually in
At
that
that
guy's
guy's
house. But for now...
Because that's where you go through your bigger garbage in this guy's ditch.
So the post says, free wheelbarrow at address, and then it says, the wheel pumps up fine, but it leaks over a weekdays.
A weekdays.
So I don't know if that's 1 weekday or if that's like
a not very strong day.
Yeah.
Like a Tuesday. Tuesdays are weak.
It doesn't leak on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly. See, I don't know. I don't know when the wheel leaks.
Pumps up fine, but leaks over a weekdays.
It's a singular week, and then it says days. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty decent looking wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
It's free?
It is free.
Yeah, you should have grabbed that and put it in the
need a
mower
wheelbarrow,
guy's
actually.
yard. They'd both be sitting there.
I want to start doing that now. Find this guy, just get bigger and bigger things and put it in his yard. I'm going to start off with a cinder block.
Some Halloween inflatables.
By the time I'm done, it's going to be a mobile home.
Yeah.
Along the side.
I'm tired of this.
Oh, man.
That's good. I like that.
So the next one, we've got some more tomfoolery going on here. Our town is getting very angry at each other. So it says, if your teenage daughter was walking... Also, I like how everyone uses now Facebook to just air grievances. You know, kind of like it's like the Maury Show or something. It says, if your teenage daughter was walking the streets of Washington with her friends this evening, and a man honked at her because she wouldn't get out of the middle of the street, and he got out of the car and yelled, "Excuse me," after she blasted expletives at him, that was me. And I welcome a follow-up discussion with you and her parents. So again, we're calling out the parents and whatnot. It says, kudos to the young man in the group who apologized on her behalf. I was saddened by the fact that this young lady felt the need to behave and express herself the way she did.
The young man must not have been her boyfriend, because there's no way he would have stood up.
Well, you know what it probably was? The young man was there, and the guy who jumped out of the car was probably a lot bigger, and he's like, he's not going to hit the girl. So, sir, I am so sorry. Oh, yeah, my boyfriend's like, would you shut up? Your boyfriend's nothing. Would you just shut up? I don't want to fight this guy out on the street.
Yeah, I apologize for her mouth.
I've got an aunt that's older, and I'll drive around, and I'm courteous. She'll lean over and just blare on the horn and roll her window down like, go ahead. I'm like, hey, Connie, please stop. She's like, you got to tell him. I was like, who are they going to punch? The 85-year-old woman or me? I'm not doing it. They're not dragging you out of the car. I'm going to get a beat down.
I can imagine a scenario, too, where this guy's honking at what he thinks is a girl, but he sets off the other person with the brake light. There's just a long
series maybe her brake
events.
lights were out.
I don't
might
know.
be.
It's all just, I'm imagining a scenario where that's all disconnected.
Maybe that was the kid, and he was so aggravated when he got in his car, he took off. That woman honked at him, and he was so mad about this that he just lost it and cursed at her.
Will you quit honking at me? And this next one, I love this next one.
I don't understand. Where was this? Give us a little background on it. Is it for sale or giveaway, or do we?
So this one, I'm going to go back to another one we had, I think maybe a year ago, if not more. So if we're all on the same page, it shows a picture of a dog, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says, this is Shadow. He's a little over a year old, and he looks so much fun.
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, he's a cute little dog.
So it says, he's still teething and knows how to lick a soft lick and go potty.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. So here we
We're trying to teach him a hard lick, but he hasn't got that one down yet.
Yeah. So I think Shadow got out.
Okay.
And I think Shadow was on the run. So What they're trying to do is get him to respond. So it says, he responds to, do you want to go potty? Hey, Shadow, do you want to go potty? Yes, come here.
I'm already out.
Yeah.
I just soft licked you. Come on.
So he also responds to, do you want to go for a car ride? And then it says, knows how to sit on command and lay down. Loves to do zoomies. So, okay, he's like any other dog. And finally, the last bit of context for Shadow is that he loves Cheetos.
And that's a separate post by 1 minute.
And it's not like you can get him to come to you with Cheetos. It's just like, oh, he loves Cheetos. Long walks on the beach, soft music, candles.
Soft licking.
Well, who doesn't?
And it made me think of, you guys remember Bones?
Oh, yeah.
Bones, he's got the
good cheddar.
Yeah. So
it can be crappy cheese, but as long as you tell him it's the good cheddar, it's all good. That was another dog that was missing, and they said the only way to get him to respond was tell him you got good cheddar. Not
good.
American cheese. You had to tell him it was good cheddar. It could be the crappy cheese, but you had to lie to him.
oh my gosh, so Bones is out there. He's running amok with good cheddar, and now Shadow,
maybe him and Shadow are hanging out together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eating Cheetos and
Cheddar.
Living the good life, man. Cheese and Cheetos.
Oh, that one was good.
loves Cheetos.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Next one.
Yeah, the next one. No,
Go ahead.
okay, so people literally take to Facebook for everything
I guess so.
that should not be on Facebook.
I don't even understand the first sentence. Like, what? What?
So here we go. I don't know if this was Shadow or Bones or whatever, or their posse,
It is dog related.
but it says, my son.
Sorry.
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna try
Here we
to compose myself.
It says, my son was bit by a dog at, fill in the address, around 9:20
Oh,
a.m.
but I thought it said hit. I'm like, you hit by a dog.
That would make it funnier.
The dog's the one posting about honking the horn. Get out of the street!
I pictured a woman like picked it up and threw it at the kid. Okay, sorry, he was bit. Not as funny.
It probably was Shadow.
It might have been.
It might have been. Well, maybe he had Cheetos.
Maybe he had
wanted the Cheetos.
Maybe he had said regular chips. He's like, I told you I love Cheetos.
Yeah. These aren't Cheetos. I want Flamin' Hot. So he says, yeah, my son was bit by a dog at this address around 9:20 a.m. He says it was a woman walking two dogs wearing pink headphones.
The woman or the dogs were wearing pink headphones?
I don't
think
know.
the woman, but
Okay.
the dogs may have been. They don't specify. And it says, and the dog was the larger white one?
I'm assuming that was the one that bit the kid, maybe?
I think so. It says, please contact me as soon as possible with your dog's vaccination records. What? Why are you putting this on Facebook? There's no obligation here to do anything for you.
Well, and what are the odds that this person is looking on Facebook and realize, oh, that was...
Exactly. And it wasn't just a general post. It was in a group. So even if the person is on Facebook, they may not even be in the group. I just don't understand the thought process of what some people put on here. I really don't. The only thing that this post was missing is one of those backgrounds of like the cake, you know, like a party.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't.
So anyway, this next one was actually sent by my wife. So can you guys tell what this is if you look at this picture? It's a bowl. It looks like a bowl of cereal.
It looks like a bowl of Lucky Charms to me.
That's what it looks like.
Where is it from?
Funny French vanilla.
France? I'm going to
Cereal
guess.
Look at the site. Look at the advertisement on Facebook.
Oh, Amazon. Right?
It's an Amazon thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cereal. I was so confused at first. I was like, cereal from Amazon? I don't get it. Well, if you look real close at the cereal, you can see 3 wicks that make it a candle. It's a candle in the form of cereal.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bowl of cereal. I really did.
It looks like a bowl of Lucky Charms.
It does.
That's
I'm like,
what I thought
all right.
too. I was like, I don't
Or
get
alphabets or something.
Why would you want that candle?
I love cereal. I want to eat it. I want to burn it.
I want to smell it.
I want to rub it all over me. I want cereal
it's-
soap.
It's French vanilla.
Like
I
we
mean,
said,
that doesn't smell like Lucky Charms.
It's only a matter of time before the cereals make it everywhere.
They've made it to candles now.
Pretty soon.
And it's got 4.5 stars.
Oh, people love it. People love burning their Lucky Charms candles.
I'm waiting on the Captain Crunch candle.
It won't be too long before it's body wash and deodorant and whatever.
Champagne.
Yeah.
Champagne.
So
celebrate with a little Lucky Charm champagne.
I'm going to skip over the next one because it's another one of those. If this guy is on Facebook, I got something for him. I hate that. I want to go to the next one because this one may be the most.
This wasn't me. I don't know if it's Greg. It could be his pseudonym. He's writing under a pseudonym now on Facebook.
Well,
I received a package of yours.
Oh, Greg, go to the next one.
No, I'm saying
I'm still laughing at this one.
Okay,
though.
you got to go to the next one, and then you'll really understand.
I just like the way Mike said, "This guy, I've got something of yours."
Oh well.
What's up with me?
So
it's got the leafy background.
Just a little bit of a backstory on this. This is the very first, when I opened Facebook one day, this is the very first thing that popped up. I screenshotted this and I never went on Facebook for the rest of the day after this post. The post, all it says is, "What's up with McDonald's?"
That is the question.
That's our whole podcast. For over 3 years. That's it. That's our podcast in one
summed
post.
it up.
That's it. What's your podcast about? What's up with McDonald's? That's it. That's it. Now, how long you been doing it? You got 2, 3? No, 3.5 years.
Yeah. We've got plenty for you.
I want to click on the comments and see what people are saying now. I've got to find this post.
I think they were late opening one morning. I think that was the problem. So,
well, that's a problem, but that's not. I mean, there's not enough commenting space to fill out.
I know. That's exactly what I thought. You really can't ask a more open-ended question than that, honestly. What's up with McDonald's?
That's the question.
That is the $100 question.
And the leafy background really portrays McDonald's.
Yes, exactly. That's what
We wouldn't put golden arches or red background or anything like that.
An angry face or a question mark. Shrug.
A palette. You could put a palette.
Palette would have really done it.
It's got to be the lemon tree background. That's exactly what it is.
More citrus, see? Washington.
Yeah.
That's what we're known for, apparently.
You guys are really getting
Florida of
getting
Illinois.
into the citrus.
Little Florida.
Well, you need to break.
A little Florida. I like
you
that.
used to have the cherry festival, so you at least
now we're going to have the lemon
you have-
festival, the citrus festival.
Yeah.
I think it's the Friendship Festival now or something.
Good
Corny.
neighbor. Good
Or
neighbor
good neighbor
days.
days.
Yeah. Well, my last Facebook
Well, all your good
post,
neighbors are on Facebook talking.
they're all yelling at each other about stuff. Getting bit and honking horns and whatnot.
Brake lights.
So finally, the last one I had, this one was a fairly interesting question. Where are the homegrown tomatoes at? I'm guessing at home.
And that's it. Just that.
That's it. So,
okay.
yeah. Where are the
It's
homegrown
like, where's the good
tomatoes at?
cheddar? It's like,
Yeah, it is.
where are the homegrown tomatoes at? Ending in a preposition.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're at home, but I
You
mean,
would think.
that would be my thought, but I don't know for sure. So hopefully they
Unless
got
somebody took 'em.
some tomatoes.
Maybe somebody took them.
Maybe they did take
They put them in the mower guy's yard.
in the basket.
Shadows eating some Cheetos there.
Throw them at the brake light kid. Throw them at the girl smarting off.
Yep, they come in handy.
Yeah.
I do like that.
So anyway, I think that's all I got here.
All right. Well, I just got a couple things. First, and I've just got screenshots. Unfortunately, this was a video that was playing, and it's on Instagram, owned by Meta. So all still under the same umbrella.
Who? No. Facebook, right? Meta
Yep.
Facebook. Yeah. See, Meta Funnies doesn't have the same ring as Facebook Funnies.
No, so we're saying there. This says creators sponsored, so it's like an ad. And I'm assuming, I don't know what it's for, to be honest. It says creators ad, and it has this, I don't know if it's a person or an account or whatever, wants you to turn success on Reels into money in the bank by earning directly from Instagram. You can get views and earn with tools like Reels bonuses.
Reels.
Wow.
And the video has this woman, and
real?
she's sitting there, and she's happy, and she's running around. She's showing you stacks of money, and she's kissing it and flopping it around. She's got those shooter guns, and she's shooting them up into the air, laughing and spinning, and she's grabbing them, holding them up to the camera. $100. But if you look close, and I took a screenshot of it, the $100 bills, it's her picture. It's not a real $100 bill.
So you can get that money by
I
doing
don't want
Reels.
your money. I want real money. it's like, if you're going to make a commercial or an ad saying how much money I'm going to make, don't use Monopoly. Don't use funny money. I don't want money with your face. I want Benjamin. I want Franklin. I want some, I want some big bills throwing up in there. Let's go.
I want the good bills.
The good bills. Loves the good bills.
Yeah.
We'll come to the good bills. So that was the first one I had. I just like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
Why would you have an ad and not use real money? And you're holding it up to the camera. It's not like you're hiding it.
That's the whole point of the ad, is to make money.
Yeah.
And if you're advertising fake money,
Yeah.
you kind of defeat your own
You
message.
can have the fake stacks of money. You put like a couple at the top, so it looks like, oh, I got, look at there, a stack of hundreds.
Yeah.
It's 200, but no, they got that. The next one was an ad for psoriatic arthritis. It says early
I don't
warning
like
signs
that.
of psoriatic arthritis.
Anytime the drug ad or whatever is around my middle section,
Well-
I don't like that.
Early signs people should not ignore. See the list of symptoms. Click here for more information. And it's got like an outline drawing of a person with their back to you, and they've got their hands on their butt, pulling their butt cheeks up.
Yeah, they're grasping.
Ooh.
And there's a big red circle around the butt. I don't know much about psoriatic arthritis. I know arthritis affects the joints. I don't know of a butthole joint or anything. That's where it looks like it's focusing on. It's not like the hip.
He looks like he's lifting and separating.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Like, what is happening? And maybe that is part of the problem. Maybe it makes you grab your butt and lift and separate.
That's the early warning sign
What's the matter
anyways.
with Greg? He's got psoriatic arthritis starting up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Rub them together.
Oh,
Maybe that's where the song comes in.
no, I think he needs to do that after what he's doing there.
That's true. And then I had this, my wife screenshotted this from Washington. Again, somebody had posted. And all it says, looking for local honey. Any suggestions?
Oh.
So there you several of the comments were, try a dating app and
Of course they will.
drive around.
Are they next to the homegrown tomatoes?
they might be. Did you have one, Greg?
I got a couple real fast.
Go ahead. I've
one's
got
the-
one commercial, but I'll do it at the
Well,
end.
one was when we were eating supper tonight, I was looking on Facebook and there was a local person doing some crafty type things, and they had a sweatshirt they had made. And you remember speaking of Def Leppard earlier, you remember the song Pour Some Sugar on Me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have this orange sweatshirt that says,
Were we speaking of Def Leppard earlier?
yeah, about the guy at the drive-thru.
That was Bon Jovi.
Oh, was that Bon Jovi? Oh, I thought it was Def Leppard. Okay. Anyways, old 80s rock band.
Not to quibble,
but pour Some Sugar on Me is the song from Def Leppard, right?
Yes, it is.
So they had this t-shirt or the sweatshirt made. It had a pumpkin on the front and it said, pour some pumpkin on me. Wouldn't that be kind of gross?
Well, does pumpkin pour?
It doesn't pour. It's
It
clumpy.
glops. Bleh, bleh.
Would you like some whipped cream with that?
It's not quite as sexy sounding.
So that's stupid, but yeah.
Maybe try it on your anniversary.
Yeah. I'll,
Hey, bleh. What's the pumpkin for? You're going to find out.
I'll get Lori that sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll love it.
So, and then the other one, I'm going to send you a picture here or a Facebook snapshot. I belong, I'm in a different group. We're all in different groups and things like, you're talking to Washington Strong. Well, I'm in one for Trans Ams because that would be a car I would like to buy, like an old one, and mess around with. It would be
I love a Trans Am.
So I'm in a group for Trans Am for people who are selling Trans Ams. So I'm in that group, and this car showed up in the group the other day. So here comes the picture. Tell me if you can see a couple things wrong with it.
Okay. Let's see here. We're opening it up.
Did you get it yet?
Well, the first thing I noticed, it doesn't look like a Trans Am.
It's not a Trans Am. Well, what below it? You tap on it a little bit. You can see what kind of car is it?
Well, it says it's a 1970 Ford Mustang, but it doesn't look like a Ford Mustang either.
No, it's not a Mustang. It's not a Trans Am. It is a Ford Maverick. I don't know what it's doing in the Trans Am page.
$7,000.
Yeah. But then, yeah, in the description, 1970 Ford Mustang. It's not a Ford Mustang. It's a Maverick.
But in the comments, he says it's a Maverick in his comment.
Well, I know, but it's in the Trans Am page.
I know.
Well, and he posted Ford Mustang under the picture.
Did he not know what he was posting?
Yeah, obviously he did in the comments, but what is he doing?
But by the time he put the description...
How can you be that wrong?
And I like how he puts,
in so
not
many
really
places.
looking to sell, but will at the price of, well, you put a price. If you're not looking to sell, you put a price.
Yeah, just looking.
You've done everything except sell it.
I'm not looking to sell, but I'm going to post it on the for sale page.
Yes.
For Trans Ams.
This guy's the worst salesman ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure all the Trans Am owners are looking at it and going, I really want a Trans Am, but a Maverick would be fine. I personally, I hate Mavericks. So seeing that in the Trans Am page.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I knew a guy who was a huge Maverick fan.
Yeah, he's wrong.
My dad had a 4-door 74 Maverick. It was a piece of junk. Literally, he traded some guy a bunch of guttering.
Homegrown tomatoes?
No, a bunch of guttering for it. And he drove it back and forth to work. And I mean, it was a beater work car, but I drove it when I first got my license, and we took it fishing and everything. It was great because it was all vinyl inside, no carpet anywhere. So it didn't matter if you get it dirty, muddy, whatever, you just blow it out, wash it out. Like nobody cared.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just, as I'm going through the Trans Am page and that popped up, I'm like, okay, first off, it's not a Mustang. Second off, it's a Maverick.
First off, it's not a Trans Am.
Right.
That's
Second
first.
off,
It's not a Mustang.
So that's
the biggest problem.
Yes.
It's not a Trans Am.
Yes. And that's not even a Mustang. It's like he's really trying to hype this car, isn't he?
I'm not looking to sell it.
$7,000 for it.
Yeah.
Almost like a piece of crap.
Yeah. It's a 250 inline 6-cylinder. I mean, $7,000 for that?
Seems like a lot of money.
Yeah. And get it off the Trans Am page.
He should have been taken off the Trans Am
Yes.
page.
He should be banned. Canceled. I'm going to cancel him.
I agree. You've been banned. You've been canceled.
So, anyways, that's all I had for Facebook ads.
All right. Well, I've got one more ad. I'm going to attempt to play it. Hopefully it comes through.
It's a pea-sized amount of Lumi applied between your butt cheeks like this. I will demonstrate. Just kidding, I won't. Like this. We put Lumi to the test and compared it to a shower. 12 hours after a shower with soap and water, the average crotch has an odor score of 5 to 6 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower and applying Lumi, you're at a 0 out of 10. No odor all day. I'm not a mathematician, but I think it means that Lumi is infinitely more effective than a shower alone. So just take a shower or shower with Lumi and be 0 out of 10.
I think the guy from the Soiree Addict commercial could use Lumi.
Maybe that was the problem. So it's some kind of a deodorant lotion or something that they use. But my thought, it says, if you shower alone, after 5 to 6 hours, your crotch stink is at 5 out of 10. The average crotch. Now, there's some not, above average crotches. Maybe you're at a 3. But with Lumi, you're at a 0 out of 10. My thought is, who did they task to smell all the crotches and to put them down? Like, all right, 0. We know what 0
Well, you got to
is.
have a panel of people for that.
Well,
so
I know.
I picture like 8 people sitting at a table. Yeah, we need to test this in our group here.
Well, and so you've got to establish 0 is 0. But then you got to establish the worst. So you got to find the worst smelling crotch.
The worst would not be good.
The worst is 10, and then you got to rank the rest of them. You got to break it down.
I think it's about a 4.
This is a 4. No, it's a 7. It's like what? How'd you like that job? All right, we're gonna have everybody come in after their hard day of working. You sit here on the sofa. He's gonna grab your head and put it in his crotch. Take a big whiff. What kind of? How much am I getting paid?
Yeah, that's
not enough.
One of those
not
things
enough.
you sit there and you think to yourself, where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
How
Who
did
was
it come?
smelling this? And,
Well,
who was
and you had to
deciding?
test it without the Lumi first.
Oh, yeah.
To set the bar.
You got to have a baseline. You got to have the baseline. Here's the baseline.
Yeah.
It's like, whoo, that crotch is stinky. You need some Lumi.
Oh.
But I don't know who's answering the ad. Like, yeah, I will do it. I will do it. And did they pay them, or was it like volunteers? Like, I'm sure there's a certain group of society that would probably be all in on this, but I feel like those people are not going to give you an objective
No, it needs to be a regular
It's going to be
group of
somebody who
regular
has
Joes.
disdain for this. They do not want this.
That person's like, ooh, 10 out of 10. Like, that's
No.
not the objection.
You're not supposed to
You're
enjoy that.
fired.
No.
You're out. We got to find the person that does not want to be here. I feel like we'll get an objective score. And really, even with the Lumi, I get maybe it's the best thing. If you're out working 5, 6, 7 hours, it's going to be a zero. I mean, it's probably better than the non one, but a zero.
I mean, zero might be. I don't think there's possibility of a zero.
In the shower,
But-
scrubbing it.
Yes, maybe when you step out of the shower, maybe for a brief second,
Your
you get
crotch
a
is
zero.
completely soaped up. Okay, I'll give you a 0 at that point. But once you've got out,
You're in there
just go
drowning
to a
while
1.
you're smelling it.
A
Though.
1 is the boom. It's 1. It's just a 1. Just all
Out of the
natural,
gate.
perfectly clean. It's a 1, not a 0. It's a 1. I don't know.
and gets worse from there.
Yes.
I don't know. 10 is high enough.
For some, it's probably not. See, that's why I was thinking. So 10 has got to be just putrid. I mean, it's got to be bad. It's got to be bad.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about what would be a 10.
I like Mike. He's like, some guy's like, he's inhaling on the 7th one. Where did my life go wrong? I could have been a doctor.
If only I had not bought that Maverick. That's
right.
Be here.
Oh my gosh.
I picture this more as the Maverick seller.
See, anybody that buys the Maverick, I picture he would like to smell the crotches too much. You
True,
can't have
true,
it. You can't be hiring
true.
him to come do this.
That's true.
All right. Well, we can get off of the crotches now and move on to the next segment,
Yes.
which I believe is our pancake pumpkin festival recap.
Pancakes? Well,
Yeah,
Where?
it was
Mike
a good.
was excited there for a second.
Yeah, it was a good. I did not get the pumpkin pancakes this year.
No. As a
Which
matter of
is
fact, my
highly
wife made a
unusual.
comment that seems like I remember Mike said he would make pumpkin pancakes for us.
well, look. Hold on.
He's speechless now.
He is speechless. What?
Well, usually we do the pancakes at the
At the festival.
festival.
Yes, normally.
normally.
Yeah.
But this year we thought they were going to be homemade pancakes, so we didn't go. But where are the homemade pumpkin pancakes at? I'm just going to put that on Facebook with a happy
We'll
birthday
revisit
cake.
that.
in the Washington Strong group.
We'll revisit that one in a later episode.
Yes.
Yeah, we normally go to the festival and have them. You got to go super early because the line gets long really fast. But since my other daughters now has 4 kids, it's much harder for them to get up and ready to be there. So we got to rethink how we're doing this because I still want to go.
Well, and for
So-
that, I mean, you got to be up and ready.
It opens at 6 or 6:30.
I thought it was like 5:30.
No, it's 6 or 6:30 because I've been there when it opens many times.
Okay.
But so either one of those, but you got to almost be there when the door opens because even if you get there at 6 or 6:30, you're going to be back 100 yards from the start of the
Oh.
tent.
At least.
Yeah.
I don't like pancakes that well that I'm going to get up that early and stand in line
It's
that
about
long.
the experience.
I don't want to be in line.
So anyways, we had,
I can hear Greg. What are we doing? We're smelling crotches. I don't want to. It's about the experience. It's a whole
it
experience
smells
thing.
like pumpkin. Pour
They said the
some
worst it'll be is a
pumpkin
5 or a
on
6
me.
out of 10. That's pretty good. All right.
So
It's a
anyways,
long line.
no pumpkin pancakes this year. Couple of highlights is we got our annual, about 3 to 4 weeks prior to the pumpkin festival. So the pumpkin festival ends on Saturday with a big parade, right? Well, 4 to 5 weeks prior to that, people already have their chairs out all along the parade route. And it's funny because on Facebook,
Some have put up fencing or
bleachers, I seen
caution tape,
bleachers. Now I got to admit, 2 to 3 days prior, the area I'm in was taped off and staked off. I didn't do it this year. Normally I go up about midnight the night before the parade and throw my chairs out. But I had somebody this year who roped it off for me. So I'm part of the problem. But we had our spot. But it's so funny on Facebook and the Morton groups because there was like 3 different threads on arguing about chairs on the berm area and on the sidewalk, weeks prior to the pumpkin festival. So I wanted to get your take on it. Do you think putting chairs out early is okay? Do you think they should?
Just me and Mike, you're not going to give a take? I feel like you can't give an impartial take. I said I had mine out early this year because somebody did it for me. No, it was only like 3 days early. It wasn't, weeks. But yeah, I probably would be a little more partial. I'd be more partial.
To me, the chair thing, people put their chairs out, it seems like earlier and earlier every year. It's kind of like the Black Friday shopping. It starts at 6 a.m. Now it's like, Thursday morning on Thanksgiving it starts. It's kind of like that thing every year. And for a long time, as somebody who didn't live in Morton, specifically along the parade routes with easy access to go put out chairs, you're screwed. Like, you really are. If you don't have a spot like 2 weeks ahead of time, it's tough. Yeah,
you get there Saturday morning and you're going to be second row.
So, what are they going to do if I show up and just stuff my chair in there? Because you didn't pay for this. There's nothing legally that says, oh, this is your spot. It's like, no. Right. I could knock the chair over and come up. What are you doing? It's like, there wasn't a chair here. I had my chair. I don't know what to tell you. There were some chairs on the ground behind me.
I haven't looked. There might be an ordinance in Morton for that.
Well, I think, like what Doug's trying, like the chairs are in public right of way.
Yeah, it's not public ground. It's not your private property.
Right. You're not entitled, just because you have chairs there, you're not entitled to that space. You don't own that. The city owns that.
Right.
So that's another aspect. I'm sure you can stake your claim or whatever, but I don't think you're necessarily, you're not guaranteed anything.
Yeah. Pre-social media, I don't think a whole lot was said about it. Now that people can voice their opinions on social media, it's more of a problem. But I have mixed emotions, and I'm not really giving my stand. Like I said, mine were up a couple days early or whatever. I think a lot of them along the parade route, the chairs are in front of the house that the people own that house.
Then I have zero problem with that.
Yeah.
But if I owned a house on the parade route, and I went out there and I would go out and kick those chairs over.
Yeah.
Especially if I got a mow or something that's out there a week ahead of time. Like, no. They put stakes out and I'm pulling them up.
You're talking about the ones where it's not their house?
Yeah. If it's not your house, if it's my house and you come up and put your chairs there, no.
Yeah.
No, this is public ground.
And that's
what would you say if they asked you? Could they put them there?
I'd say no. So you can come back here Saturday morning just like everybody else.
I think that's part of the problem, too, is why they keep going out earlier and earlier, is because the homeowners have to, stake their claim.
Right.
Before everyone else tries to come in and do it ahead of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
It compounds on itself.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's crazy. I mean, it gets crazier and crazier. It's like everything else, once it starts. And it's been going on for years, that people have been putting their
I decided to water my lawn that morning, and I would just point it right there, and I'd hit the button. It's my grass. Like, go ahead and sit there, but I'm watering this today.
Yeah. So, okay. So the chairs, that's been a thing. While we were at the parade, when Doug and I were sitting there watching the parade, Mike was further down. There was a kid standing in front of us who was really into the parade.
He was very excited.
He was dancing around, and this one float comes by, and it's got Batman on it. And the kid's yelling at Batman to dab. So Batman.
That's so like 10 years ago now.
And the kid's only like, what?
10 at most?
Is that still a thing?
In his world, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
He told Batman to dab up on the float. Batman dabs. The kid
he went nuts.
He went crazy.
It made his weekend probably. He's probably still talking about it.
Well, because then later, another float comes by with, what was it on there? A lion. And he goes, hey, lion, dab. And the lion dabs.
And it was like, that was the cherry on top of his already perfect Sunday. Boom.
And then what was funny too is some of the politicians started coming by, and there was one for a particular party comes by, and the kid starts yelling, "I agree with your stances." He's only like 10.
Yes, I was like,
he's like, and he did it for like 2 or 3 of them. Well, then the opposing party came by, and he not a word.
Because somebody said, "Oh, he's just doing it because they give candy." I said, "It'll be interesting when the other party comes by. Let's see if he still does it." The other party came by, nothing, not a word. But yeah, I agree with your stances.
And he's like 10.
He calls him
Here
over.
are the 3 points of why I believe low taxes are the way to get Illinois back into financial standings.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, he's pulling the politicians over. Look. You need to get that bill, this. I want this done.
By the end of the parade, I'm like, I'm voting for that kid.
Yeah. And
What's your name? I'm writing you in.
And the kid, while he's got the politician, oh, and while you're here, dab.
I will be the dabbing candidate.
That's
I'm the dabbing governor. I will do nothing but dab everywhere I go. Dabbing. He was this.
Oh, man.
He was excited.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is Lori and I were standing in line for the food tent. And it was a long line. And this year, they even had a queue line prior to the normal queue line.
They got a pre-line. It's like, oh, you're in line for the food? No, we're in line for the line for the food.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt. Because normally there's one.
People are insane. I am not standing that long in line for what is it?
Pork chop sandwiches, brats, pumpkin
Dried
chili.
out pork chop sandwich.
Pumpkin chili.
Because you can't make that yourself or get it at all. I mean.
Well, I can get pumpkin pancakes too, but I go to that too.
Greg loves,
pour some pumpkin on me.
I should have started singing that. The line would have gotten a lot shorter. It went right up. Pour your pumpkin on me.
In the name of love. But
all right, Lori, let's go. Lori?
She buggered off. But normally there's like one long line to the tent. Then you go into the queue inside the tent. Well, this year it was a sort of small line, then another queue outside, and then a line off of that. So it was like, but anyway, so we're in this queue and we're moving along. We get almost to the front of it. And I sent you a picture of it. There's a girl like on a pole thing dancing.
Whoa. Hold on. I mean, it is, but it's got a
hoop
at the top.
And she's wearing like this leotard.
It looks like a lollipop.
It does.
Or a monocle on a stand.
See, now I pointed this very same thing out too. And I said to Courtney, I was like, if that lollipop thing wasn't there up at the top, this would be a totally different situation. If that one part was not there.
It had to have the hoop at the top.
But because that was there, it was okay. It's good.
It's artsy.
Yeah.
She's scantily dressed, flipping all around this pole.
And she had a little thing for money there to put money in. Now, I think it was raising money for the local hospital. I don't.
Are we sure about that?
It said OSF next to her. But
we need some extra money. Hire some strippers. That's the best way to get
the
money.
official stripper fund.
Yeah. Like that hospital I'm talking about really needs the money.
Do you know how many strippers every year suffer from pole burn? It is a serious problem.
Yeah, you get that.
We need a lot of salve.
That rash. She might suffer from psoriatic arthritis.
Well, maybe that is it. Sliding up and down that pole, you got to be careful.
You know what I picture too? She's up there on the pole. Hey, stripper, dab!
Hey, if she could do that.
Yes. She did that. I might throw some money into the little jar. Holy crap! She dabbed on the pole. It's impossible. Now we know why Greg wants to go stand in the lines. I didn't know this kind of stuff was going on in your city. I thought this was a good family-oriented festival.
Well, this was pumpkin.
I didn't know they put adult entertainment along the line to keep people entertained.
This was Pumpkin Festival at night.
We didn't even mind the hour and a half wait for the pork chop. Oh my God.
So that's a few highlights of the old Pumpkin Festival this year.
Well, there you go, everybody. If you are in Central Illinois next September, you got to come to the Pumpkin Festival.
Hey, it's a big deal here.
You don't know what you're going to see.
It's extremely. Oh, the other thing is we got there Saturday night. They have a lip sync show. And we got there. so we could get decent seats for the lip sync show. And we're sitting in our chairs, we're waiting, and there's a band setting up and like warming up and tuning up and stuff. The lip sync's supposed to start at 7:00, and it's like 6:15, 6:30, and this band's warming up. We're like, my thinking is maybe the band's name is Lip Sync Show.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we're going to see. But no, they warmed up and then they walked off the stage.
Or they're a very authentic lip sync. They're going to play pretend to play all kinds of instruments. They're going to change them out.
Band.
Because one guy had like multiple instruments.
Yeah, a flute.
He had a flute.
He did have a flute.
And a saxophone.
We knew some Jethro Tull was coming.
Oh, I did. I looked at Greg and said, which Jethro Tull is it going to be?
Yeah.
Aqualung or
Locomotive
Breath. It's got to be one. It's got to be a little Jethro Tull.
It ended up being Locomotive Breath.
It did.
But
I was
we'll come
wrong.
back to that.
I said Aqualung, but
yeah, because we're there for the lip sync show. And so these two little girls come out on stage and they do their lip sync thing. And each act was supposed to have 2 songs that they're going to do. So these two little girls, first they sang a song together. So I'm not sure what that was about because there was no lip syncing to that. So, but then they lip synced 2 songs and they went off the stage and they came up and these 2 girls win the award. That's all they have 1 act for the lip sync contest. And it's like, so then the band came back on and they were playing a very obscure set of music. It was like Locomotive Breath. It was, I can't even think what else there was. There's one I haven't even heard, which is amazing from the 60s.
And the theme of the Pumpkin Festival was 80s and none of the music they were playing was 80s.
They're playing 70s, 60s.
90s?
Yeah. One song from like Brother Bear they were playing.
Yeah.
You know, talking about, On the Way or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was very strange.
Very eclectic music, but it wasn't even 80s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the theme, the throwback to the 80s, yeah. And there was no 80s music in their act. So, I don't know. My thinking was maybe they got called last minute because they knew they didn't have enough lip syncers. So, we better get a band in here because we don't have any lip sync people. Let's get the 60s band for the 80s Pumpkin Festival. And Lori took the grandson on the Scrambler, and she had a good time with that. She was on it for 5 minutes or however how long it runs, and she was not looking forward to going on it anyways. And it ended, and she pops the seatbelt off. They still had the lap bar on. Pops the seatbelt off, and the operator decided he was going to run it again.
Oh no, you can't do that.
Lori's getting ready to get off, and all of a sudden it starts taking off again. It's like, So she got double the ride for her.
Yeah, that would not be a good time.
Yeah.
Well, for the amount that you pay for tickets, I mean,
true. They're
at least
very
you got
expensive.
your money's worth out of that.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you start. That's not a good thing anymore. You're like, I'd rather pay more and not ride. How about that?
Where's your friend? Can he join you?
Yeah.
Go get the dabbing boy.
That
Hey,
kid was so
Carney,
funny.
dab! You're like, shut up! Quit messing with the Carney. Just let him turn this off.
Yeah. We don't want him dabbing. All right. So I think that's all I got on the Pumpkin Festival.
All right. Well, we're going to move right along then. I got a story about tipping. But before I do that, I want to bring up, and we've kind of talked about tipping before, but where do you stand? Do you always tip? And who do you tip? Like,
Should I start?
Sure.
I tip.
Excuse me.
But I mean, I tip at the like the sit down establishments where I'm actually waited on by a wait staff.
Yep.
But I mean, I do tip based on how I think the experience was. Like,
Right.
I'm not afraid to necessarily give a bad tip if I thought the experience was bad, or if I felt like we were left out or whatever.
I think McDonald's owes me.
Well, I'm not tipping at McDonald's, but I'll also do a good tip too. I mean, I'll go not like over the moon or anything, but I mean, I will
3-4% at least.
at least, but I'll give good tips too if I think the person's doing a good job and we had a good experience. So I try to stick true to the experience.
Yes.
That determines the tip.
So what about like delivery? Of course, you tip the delivery guy. What about picking up yourself? Like you order to go, you walk in.
There's no tipping there.
No, I don't.
I don't either. They get to where they kind of I've noticed this. I went and picked up a pizza and I paid for it, and they're like, okay, and then I put my number in, and they're like, oh, there's one more thing. It didn't go through all the way yet. And you're like, if you want to leave a tip, it's like, well, now I got to sit here, which I did, looked right at his face and went, beep, no. Yeah. And I just took my card, but it's like, tip you for what?
Yeah.
You put it in a bag and handed it to me.
Yeah, because I don't think the cooks get the tips.
Well, who gets them?
I don't know. I don't know who does in that case.
Because there's no wait staff.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll pick up Chinese from some different places too, and they all ask me if I want to leave a tip.
Who's the Chinese do?
Chinese. Well, the workers.
He picks them up.
The Chinese.
Come on, get in, boys.
Yeah. The person at the Chinese restaurant, they're like, oh, do you want to leave a tip? Like, for the service of that you just cooked my food and put it in a bag?
Yep.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like Mike. I mean, I'll tip kind of a standard percentage I've got, you know. If a person does an exceptional job, yeah, I'll go above and beyond the normal tip. Just like if somebody does horrible job or have a bad attitude, I'll go less. That to me is what the tip was about, was the kind of service you were getting.
Well, why do we tip some businesses and not other? Like
that, okay, I've always wondered.
You get your hair cut. Do you leave a tip?
I do.
I do too, but it's already expensive, and then I throw a tip on top of it.
I don't tip the mailman, though.
No. Why not?
I don't know.
Well, he's a government employee. He's doing whatever he's doing.
But somebody like, oh, they're offering a service. Well, then, so is fast food. What about, well, I was going to say person bagging your groceries, but now that's me because I stand it out myself and bag it myself.
Yeah, I'm employed by
I still
Walmart.
don't get tipped.
Maybe I should tip myself.
Maybe I should.
Nobody's ever tipped me when I've written a program for them.
No, they should. I've always said, I'm going to take a red Solo cup and write tips. And when I go to customers, I'm going to set it out while I'm working on it. Set it there, see what happens.
Somebody will come in and drop something off for you. You'll be super excited, and it'll give you, make sure to wash your hands, sing this song. Yeah. Here's a good tip for you.
Doug might dab for them.
Hey, if they threw enough money in there,
tips.
Yeah.
I'm not smelling any crotches. I don't care how much money is going in that jar. It would have to be life-changing money for that. I mean, it has to be like, would. I'm not working again and I'm never coming in here to see you again for that.
And I'm going to be in the shower for the next day.
Yeah, curled up in a fetal position. Pouring rubbing alcohol up my nose. Like, ugh.
And that's when Doug goes to the shower beer.
I might.
So do you think tipping should go away? Do you think they should pay wait staff enough where we don't tip anymore?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I like the concept of if they give you good service, they get a little bump. I kind of like that because hopefully it's encouraging them to give some good service.
I hate the reasoning behind it by restaurants. Are like, well, we're trying to keep the cost down. No, I'm still paying a large cost. Yeah. You're not. Your cost is staying down. I'm just paying it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I can understand the concept behind it. Like if it gives them incentive to give me good service, but I don't know. I just soon just give me good service, give me the price, and I don't want to haggle about it. I just want the price. I know the price is this, and I'm out. Because I know I've not traveled to Europe, but I know over there they don't tip. It's all, this is the bill. So.
I already know. So our state passed they're raising the minimum wage anyway.
Right.
You know, for the lower level entry jobs that some of these people might use in these positions. So if you pay the more people on that same wage scale, they're going to cut more staff, and then no one's going to be there. It's all just going to be you have to do it all yourself type thing.
Well, already Steak and Shake is that way.
I feel like
I miss having, for some reason, I miss having the wait staff there. Even though sometimes that was not the best experience.
No,
sometimes.
But there was something.
Sometimes?
I usually had okay. My problem with Steak and Shake, typically the ones we got, it wasn't that the wait staff was particularly bad. They just didn't have enough most of the time, and the poor gals would be running their tails off. And
one person that's there for the entire restaurant?
Yeah. I mean, whereas now it just seems...
Well, the problem with Steak and Shake, too, is your meal is like, what, $6? So when you go to add on a tip, it's like, you do 20%. You're tipping like $1.
Yeah.
$1.50.
Here, hope that feeds your kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm
talking about
torn.
cutting staff too. Like we go to Red Robin once in a while. Red Robin,
Yum.
back in the, when the pandemic, I think it was in the middle of the pandemic, they got rid of all of their bus staff. They don't have, so it's just waitresses and that's it. They're expected to bust the table, wait on you, bring out your food. It's like, well, now this is starting. Because I got to try to find a waitress and flag her down, and she's got 14 different things she's trying to get done.
Yeah. For a while, they only had like 3 tables open. You go in there, and it's like, you got 80 tables in here, and you got 3
don't have no
open.
wait
I know.
staff for that.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I got a story. Unless, did you have anything else?
No.
So I got a story about a restaurant.
About a man named Brady?
Yes, in Pennsylvania. They're suing a man because he reneged on his tip. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, come on. A tip it's extra. It's above and beyond. But then I read the story, and I'll see if I'll see where you guys come down on this. I'm just going to give you kind of the Reader's Digest version. I know it's an old reference, but summarize it here. It says it was a tip of a lifetime for one waitress at the Pennsylvania Pizza Restaurant, famous for being mentioned on The Office, which I didn't realize that. But it was Alfredo's Pizza Cafe.
Oh, remember they had the good pizza and the the bad pizza? It's like
I don't know which one it was, but they said they were mentioned. So,
and they took that kid hostage.
Yep. So the Pennsylvania Pizza Restaurant is suing a customer for $3,000 after the patron left that amount of the tip and then asked for it back. It's like, what happened? So he got a bill for $13. And what he did, it says, he took and he added the gratuity. He put $3,000 on it. And then he also wrote tips for Jesus, because I guess that was the social media trend going there. They took his picture, that he was in the news. It was all this big thing like, oh, wow, that's cool. Put it on his credit card. But the credit card doesn't go through right away. So the restaurant owner took, and this woman, I think it said she was a single mom or, needed the money. So the restaurant gave her the $3,000 and said, we'll just keep the tip. Well, when the guy left there, I guess he called the credit card company. He's like, you know what? I don't want to pay the $3,000. Don't pay it. They put too much. So he reneged on that and didn't pay the $3,000. The restaurant owner paid the woman $3,000.
I don't think Jesus would be happy with that.
Well, that's kind of I have a couple things. Like, if you're going to do that, you don't write. If you write tips for Jesus, you better just, whatever you put that's it. That's what you're the one that did it. You're the one that wrote 3,000. So at first I was like, you can't sue somebody for tips. But then when I read the story, my thought is, if you put a tip down, now it's not like he accidentally didn't have he put 30 and didn't put the decimal point.
Right.
It's like, oh, hey, that was a decimal point there or something.
Right.
They made a big deal out of it, and they asked him, are you sure? Yeah, oh yeah. And they took his picture, and they called the newspaper. He got all the acclaim for it, and they decided, I don't want to pay a $3,000.
I'm sorry, I feel like that's too late.
Do you think it was a publicity stunt to try to get himself out there?
I don't know. I don't know if it was, but he sure didn't turn it down. That was the impression I got. Because I don't. His name is Eric Smith, so that's kind of working in his favor, because it's kind of hard to find Eric Smith. But but my thought is, then I was like, well, good. Then sue him. You owe the $3,000 at this point. That's my opinion. I am going to come down in favor of the restaurant at this point. That you owe the $3,000. If you put it on there, they asked you, you said yeah, they took your picture, it was in the news, and then you called their credit card company and killed it afterwards?
This alludes to another Office story when Michael Scott said he was going to pay for everybody's college.
Yes.
Scott's Tots.
Yeah. Yes. And then he reneged on it.
Oh, that one was
painful.
It was
painful.
hard to watch. Yeah.
Well, this one I think would be painful. You gave the waitress $3,000. I mean, and then to turn around and renege on it? No. I mean, you made the decision, and you even say he even walked out, didn't he?
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
And then after he left, he's like, I don't want to pay the $3,000.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You did it. You did it.
You wrote it down.
You took the acclaim.
They asked you, and you said yeah, and I think you're on the hook.
I think so, too. And I think that's horrible that he did it and wanted to take it back. I mean,
yeah, that's bad on you. I don't know. Where do you come down on it, Mike?
I agree. Because he signed off on it. And like you said, I think it was kind of a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of think that was going.
But for what? What kind of... What's
just to make him feel good. Look how good I am. He's probably trying to impress some woman. That's just like, hey, baby,
Yeah,
but then the negative press you get for when you renege on it,
well,
he's got to outweigh the.
He only probably had to impress her for a couple hours. Then he got what he wanted, so he doesn't care about the negative publicity then.
I guess.
And with a name like Eric Smith, you're like, well, I'm not that Eric Smith. You don't believe me? I'll do a $3,000 tip. He just does it again.
It's an endless cycle.
To me, though,
if
he did that, and they had his photo.
Yeah.
That's getting plastered on social media.
Oh yeah, it has been.
Hey, this guy reneged.
Well, I'm not saying it didn't backfire on him. I think he got caught up in.
Yeah, I just can't see. Yeah, I guess why does anybody do a TikTok?
He probably just didn't think it through all the way and realized, he probably shouldn't have done that after the fact and too late.
That's a big one out there, though. $3,000.
It is. So, all right. Well, the 3-judge panel has ruled, and you are guilty, sir.
Yep. Eric, guilty.
Pay the $3,000. I'd probably charge him $6,000 just for being a pain in the butt.
Yes.
Yep. We each get $1,000 for our time.
Yeah, we should.
Our judgment.
Our judgment. All right. Well, let's move on. There is a gentleman, Doug Ramsey. I don't know if you've heard of the name. I hadn't until this happened, but there is a company, Beyond Meat.
Yes.
They make fake meat for people.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not a fan myself of that, but whatever, I guess. He's the COO, and he was at a ball game on Saturday night and went to Arkansas to watch Arkansas and Missouri State at Razorback Stadium. And afterwards, he got in his Bronco to take off, was trying to exit. There was a lot of traffic, and him and a guy in a Subaru kind of got into a little bit of a, they was trying to, edge each other out and everything. Well, I guess the Subaru came forward and it bumped his tire, and that made him mad. So he got out. They started yelling. Well, he punched the Subaru's back window out.
Ooh.
The guy in the Subaru then got mad, and he jumped out. They started cursing each other, and a fight broke out. Says, after the owner of the Subaru got out, punches started being thrown. And Ramsey's response, according to the police report, was he bit the owners of the Subaru's nose, ripping flesh off the tip of his nose. So the guy in charge of the vegan company decided to take a big chunk of human flesh.
Well, he did go Beyond Meat. He got probably some cartilage too.
Yeah, he probably got some cartilage.
And as I'm reading this, I remember of a story we did several months back now where some vegan company made a kind of Beyond Meat type. It wasn't that brand, but a veggie sandwich that was supposed to taste and be the texture of human flesh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it with these vegan people wanting to eat human flesh?
That's very unsettling.
Yeah.
So my bigger, let's see here. He was arrested. Ramsey was arrested and charged with making terroristic threats and 3rd-degree battery. My bigger question was, how mad would you have to be at somebody that you would bite them? The only thing I could think of is like, if it's life or death, like the guy's like, I'm going to die. All right.
Yeah, if he's got me in a choke lock or
Then
something,
at that point,
his arm's
I'm
by
going to
my
have
mouth.
to gouge
Okay.
and bite.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's on then.
Yeah,
but
whatever we have to do. But just because
little road rage.
I don't want somebody's nose in my mouth.
His mug shot, he looks like an angry meat eater.
He does.
Did you see his mug?
Yeah, he is not a very, he does not look very happy.
He doesn't look like your typical vegan, what you would think of anyways.
No. He's kind of got a buzz cut.
I picture man bun.
He looks kind of like a redneck.
He really
Arkansas.
does. He looks, I had an uncle that kind of looked like him. An angry Alabama cop.
That's awesome. Maybe that is him. I don't know.
No, he passed ages ago, but he does resemble him. Kind of. Yeah, he looks angry. Of course, he just got arrested. So
most people aren't real happy at that point.
Yeah, he's got.
We didn't get him like the Christmas morning photo or something.
He's got a mouthful of nose.
Gross.
Something tells me that photo is not too far off from the mug shot.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Did you guys have anything else? I didn't have a lot.
No,
I just thought it was ironic.
Yeah.
Guy in charge of the Beyond Meat company taking a big chunk of human flesh.
Have you ever eaten Beyond Meat burgers or anything?
No. Not that I'm aware
I got
of.
the Whopper one time, the Beyond Whopper. They had a special. I want to see what this tastes like. It's okay. I mean,
they're not healthy though. If you look at all they put so much oil and different processed stuff in it that it's like You'd be better off just to eat the meat.
Yep.
And you know what? They don't. Those aren't free range vegetables. They torture those poor little vegetables.
They do.
They don't just let them grow wild wherever they want. It's horrible.
I'm waiting for the Beyond Meat cricket burger.
Oh.
Cicada chops.
Cicada chops, yeah.
Probably coming. All right. I got one final thing here then. This is coming out of Australia, but there's a nightclub out there, and they have banned a certain type of activity they've had a lot of problems with. They're tired of it. They're just tired of this happening. They have banned staring without verbal consent. That's right. You can't just go in and stare at somebody without verbal consent.
What are you supposed to
Says
do?
an Australian nightclub said it will remove people caught staring at someone without that person's consent. Club 77.
How are they going to know if you're staring at
I don't know.
anybody?
Club
They're staring at
77 in
you.
Sydney included.
Your eyes got to dart around all the time.
You're looking like a paranoid psycho in there.
I can't stare.
Club 77 in Sydney included unwanted attention from strangers in its updated zero tolerance policy on harassment. Sounds like a fun nightclub.
Yeah.
The venue posted this update on its Instagram account. Says the club is not. Sorry, my phone just refreshed. Is not a place to come if your sole purpose is to pick up. Well, that's going to eliminate probably 85% of the people at the club.
Yeah.
Because who's really going to the club? I just want to dance. Okay, a lot of people say that, but there's an alternative motive for most people.
So the other 20% stand in there with like masks on so they can't see, just those black masks.
It says, as a nightclub, we encourage you to interact with strangers. However,
don't stare at them.
Any engagement must begin with verbal consent. The statement
Hi,
reads,
do you mind if I stare at you?
This also applies if you are, for example, staring at someone from afar. So,
From afar?
from afar.
So can you stare close up?
It says from afar, so I don't know. You can walk right
Is there
up
a
to them.
distance rule here? Guys
Well, I
got
think
a
they said
tape
if you're
measure.
close enough to sniff their crotch, then it's okay.
Then you can stare.
When you smell the loom, you're good.
Well, you wouldn't smell the loom.
Oh, that's right.
There's
No,
zero smell.
that would be
If you
zero.
don't smell the loom, well, you probably don't want to be
No,
going
you're
home
not
with
gonna
them
be-
anyway.
No.
It's time to back off. Yeah, so I have down here the first thing, which is creepier. Just look at it as like, oh, that guy's staring at me. Or if I come up, hi, my name's Doug. Do you mind if I stare at you? Like, what?
Fresh.
I'm not going to stare for a long time, but I'd like to stare at you for a little bit. Maybe off and on throughout the night. Would that be okay?
And how are you supposed to interact with anybody? You just have to keep your head down when you walk
You got to keep
in?
your head on a swivel, man.
Yeah. Well, and your eyes have to swivel too. You got,
And you got to walk serpentine. Because if you stand still, people are going to stare.
yeah.
I got to keep moving, weaving, and bobbing.
Averting your eyes.
And if you lock eyes with
If you ever saw me
somebody,
dance, then, I mean, people would want to stare at that. So I couldn't dance.
how can you logically enforce that? How can you?
You can't. Basically, I think what this is just a way to get rid of anybody because you go, that person's staring
Yeah.
at me, so you're going to have to leave. And then you got to leave.
Yeah.
You got to
Well, they
go.
were staring at me.
That's right. So I just real quick, I did a stare. The definition is to gaze fixedly or intently, especially with eyes wide open. So it's somebody, we caught you staring. No, my eyes were only half open,
No,
man.
they're
If you
wide
look at the
open, but
definition-
they're wide open, but they're darting.
See, mine weren't darting, and I was looking intently, but they were only half open. And the definition specifically states, especially wide open. And what if they come up and say, we saw you start? No, I wasn't. I was gawking. That's totally different.
Yeah.
Or glare, look, peer. All these synonyms. I just glanced. I ogled.
Yeah, I was oogling.
Ogling. It's completely different than staring. Staring is rude.
I winked.
Just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, there's a lot I've heard of dumb recently,
Well.
but this is pretty dumb.
They just keep taking it to the next step.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I got nothing else. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have anything else you want to
No,
add.
I think
Mike?
that's it.
The next
Everybody
thing, you can't
dap.
talk to anybody. You can't, you can't do anything. Pretty soon at the club, you just stand there, look down. Don't
It's a
talk
bunch
to
of individual rooms. You all go in there and shut the door. It's nothing. It's just you in a closet. I'm so glad I came to the club.
Yeah.
Shut up! You're bothering me.
The band's up on stage with blindfolds on.
Yeah.
I'd like a Stolies, please. DoorDash shows up with your drink. Now I got to tip the guy. I'm in the club. Sorry, was a delivery charge.
What are we doing?
I'm just so glad I'm not single and I don't have to worry about I can't imagine trying to negotiate all this stuff.
No.
It'd just be different. It would be awful.
Yes, it
I don't
would.
know. Can't stare, sniff at crotches. Who knows what's going on anymore?
What's next?
Dabbing.
Dabbing.
But dabbing is always going to be cool, you know.
At least for that one
At
kid.
least for some people.
Pancake breakfast strippers and pork chops. I don't know what's going on anymore. World's tipsy-turvy.
Lawn chairs everywhere.
All right. Yeah, just everywhere. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in again. Next week, we hope you're going to listen to our Man on the Street episode. That is the plan, anyway.
Hopefully.
Otherwise,
it'll be a very short podcast next week.
or a best of, if there is one. I don't know if we have a best of.
Yeah.
It's an okay of.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you like the show, hit the share button. Give us a 5-star rating. Give us a review. Tell your friends.
Give us something.
Tell your enemies.
Tip us.
Give us a tip. We'll take $3,000.
Yes.
We do thank you for tuning in, for listening. We hope you have a great week. Relax. Laugh a little bit. Life is too short to get upset about things, so just relax. And, hey, if you want, you could stare at us. We wouldn't kick you out of the club. Might get a little awkward, but we wouldn't kick you out. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you're listening in 7 days. Until then, see ya.
Later.
Peace.
Well, that wraps up another episode. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.